TC Spiritual Shepherd. Welcome back to the Spiritual Shepherd YouTube channel. Today we're going to be getting into it's okay if they do not get you. Okay, we're going to get into a few different types of things. This is miscellaneous. So mental, emotional, physical, spiritual pillars, also just kind of an overview. This will be somewhat of a motivational video. I'm super grateful. So to mention, guys, is I have an opportunity to potentially speak on TED Talk or TEDx. I actually am really starting to hit it, and I'm super grateful for it. I'm not trying to jinx it or anything. I don't really believe in jinx though, but ultimately I'm just being patient, and regardless, we're gonna either we're doing this patiently. This is a long-term purpose. This is a long-term purpose, guys. So the main thing is more consistency, 100 hours, okay? After you do a first 100 hours, then you take your day off. Then you take your first day off. Do 1,000 hours, do 2,000 hours, do 5,000 hours, do the 10,000 hour rule, okay? Cultivate things like Kaizen, which is change 1% better every day. Get better 1% every day. So, and then how do you do that? Selfless self-care. You do Kaizen through selfless self-care. And Kaizen through selfless self-care is this way right here. So you know that you're supposed to go to the gym, but you don't necessarily want to do it, which is what? Selfishness, because you don't want to do it, but you know it's good for you, so do it anyways. It's really selfless self-care comes in conjunction and consistency with discipline specifically, okay? And self-discipline. Self-discipline is discipleship, okay? And also have better abilities to respond. Have more capabilities. Start to develop your capabilities. Start to develop your self-talk and start to realize that it's easy with your self-talk. What is your self-talk? What is your self-talk? Let's really get into it. What is your self-talk? Because your self-talk could be, up, down, and it could be, there could be a negative connotation to most of the words that you say, or a positive connotation to the words that you say, which what? That ties into belief system, that ties into placebo effect, that ties into the way that you're talking to yourself, which means that you can change the way that you're talking to yourself. And how are we to change? Kaizen, we're to change 1% at least. We're to change for the better, which is, it doesn't even matter about the percentage, okay? The percentage is just a cliche term for it. Just change for the better, okay? And here's the thing too, is you start to become more consistent. You start to develop more things like solitude. You start to develop things more like simplicity and stillness, silence, solitude, sympathy on yourself, sympathy on others. Why do you discover these things? Simplicity helps determine the importance of things around you and what's also not important. It determines what's important and what's not important. Okay, that's what simplicity does. These are the things. So this minimalist stuff around me, the only stuff that I own is important. Other stuff is not necessarily important. If it's not owned by me, if I don't have it, it's not important, okay? And it's realizing the things that are important and things that are not. Stillness, it helps you figure out where and when to move next. And also probably why to move next and how to move next. Because when you're still, you could say, all right, I like that, don't like that. I like operating like this. I don't like operating like this. So then that stillness is going to start to transform and evolve yourself. Solitude, one of the other 5 S's. Solitude helps you discover yourself deeper, as well as find your like-minded tribe deeply. Look, when you get to know yourself, when you get to know who you are, when you know yourself because you've developed time with yourself in solitude, you become solid within your solitude, okay? And it doesn't feel like solitary confinement, and it doesn't feel like loneliness or aloneness, okay? You could start to attract people who are like you because you know what you like and what you don't like. And then also sympathy is feeling the pain of others leads to greater compassion. And so start to see the way, maybe the old version of how you used to live, and see the way that you truly want to live. And you can see the pain of certain people, of how you want to live as well. Okay? Some people have to really livicate their lives. They really have to build their lives up and determine, all right, they have to dedicate themselves ultimately. They have to build a business, if they want to really build a business. And some of that is pain. Some of that is not always pleasure. Okay. Validate also positive self-talk. So when you talk to yourself positively, you also validate that self-talk. Create rites of passage. So rites as in, you write your rights out, but also rites of passage, meaning like initiations of passing to proper up leveling, to proper leveling up. Self-discipline is discipleship. So as much as we want to follow mediocrity, as much as we want to follow people who tell you don't go to the gym and eat whatever you want and act however you want and be wherever you want and do whatever you want, okay? A lot of those people are genuinely unhappy. Okay, a lot of them are very unhappy. I would recommend to choose to unfollow mediocrity. Choose to unfollow mediocrity. It's a non-negotiable task. It's a non-negotiable. Okay, and we are over here with non-negotiable instruments, y'all. Okay, we don't have that negotiation with lower vibrational aspects of frequency. Okay. It's about doubling up on your spirituality. It's about building yourself from scratch, rebuilding yourself from scratch, cultivating yourself, okay? Giving yourself offers that you really want to cultivate, giving other people offers that you know that you're actually worth, okay? It's about collective. It's about collectively coming together and realizing your oneness is connected to everyone's oneness, or the oneness of the all and the one. Okay. It's doing it anyways type of discipline. It's doing it anyways type self-discipline. I don't want to eat clean. I don't want to get ripped. I don't want to have to do all that stuff to build a business, but you say you want a business. So it's either you want the business and you're going to do the work to put in the business, or you're going to hire someone which is also it's leverage. Hire someone to also build it for you. There's a multitude of things that you could do. Okay. Rarefy yourself. A lot of us, we dress the same, we act the same, we drink the same, we smoke the same, we eat the same, we say the same things, we act the same, and then we wonder why we get the same results as everybody else. And it's genuinely because we have not rarefied ourselves from the masses. We have not taken our own rite of passage. We have not walked our own rite of passage, our own time in solitude, our own time in our self-talk, and then truly validating that. A lot of people have never spent enough time with themselves. Not enough people have spent time with themselves, okay? And really, it gets to the point of sobriety. It gets really to the point of sobriety. There are times more than others that I want to drink, that I want to smoke, that I feel called to do stuff like this. But there are newer levels to where being completely sober and really initiating yourself through sobriety is a real up level. And this is how you start to rarefy yourself, because how many people around you, other than people who have they've had such a problem that they've had to force themselves to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, they've had to go to AA, they've had to go to all these different types of things, or they've had to go to some type of regen, or they've had to go to some type of 12-step process, or they've had to, eradicate stuff or go through some type of, thing. Okay, a lot of this can be done alone. We just have to hold ourselves accountable, and we have to start to realize the actual drug use of food, the drug use of alcohol. We have to start to realize the drug use of music, the drug use of movies. We have to start to realize that these things are not necessarily good unless we consciously choose to only listen to good things. We only listen to good music. We only listen to good movies. We will only go into good environments. We will only do things that are good for one and one for all. That is ultimately what it is. We become more productive and less consumptive. When you start to do more 18-hour fast, 16-hour fast, 12-hour intermittent fast, when you start to do multiple day fasting, when you start to become more productive, which is by your fruit, which is cultivating more fruit, the throne is not given to you. Okay. It's earned. It's not just inherited. Okay. A lot of people, I know this sounds crazy, but a lot of people who were inherited the throne were overthrown by somebody who, I don't want to necessarily say they earned it, but they took what they felt like they wanted. Okay, I'm not saying I'll always do that as well. I'm saying that to each their own. We are our own temples. Temple. The Ark of the Covenant's right here. God is within us. Okay, rarefy yourself. Become more productive. Living in best case scenario. So a lot of us are like, oh, I want this to happen in the future, or it was so good in the past, and now my now sucks. Da 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 da. But there is something in the present moment that is untouched. There's something that is pure about the present moment. There is something that is fresh about the present moment. And living in the best case scenario, that you're already in the best case scenario. You don't have to rush in time. You don't have to chase. You attract. You don't have to try to run after your success or chase success or anxiety, anxiety ride the whole entire process, where you can just chill back, take your time, and know it doesn't matter the timeline, it's on divine timing. And so it's all happening within the best time and best case scenario to begin with. Going with the flow, 11:11, going with the flow, right? As we said, best timing and going with the flow. Say this with me, guys. Go with the flow of the wavelengths of life. Go with the flow of the wavelengths of life. Make sure that you surf the wavelengths of life. Go with the flow of the frequencies of the wavelengths of life. The wavelengths of the frequencies that are going on around us. Just go with the flow. Look, I know that you've had this one synchronicity in your life where you spoke something 30 minutes before, and then somebody around you or something confirmed or affirmed itself from your external reality because you first spoke it into existence. And that is the first confirmation of synchronicity that God is playing, expressing himself through higher vibrational frequencies in your reality for you to see. A lot of my synchronicities, a lot of the numerology, a lot of the synchronicities around me, the similarities, the divine timing around me is for me. It has nothing to do with other people for the most part, unless you're like on that wavelength, unless you're like, oh yeah, 11:11, oh yeah, 12:12, 4:44, 7:77, 11:11, like stuff like that. Like I get that if you're on that level, and not a lot of people are on that level, or a lot of people might doubt it. There's doubters and there's believers, y'all. There's doubters and there's believers. That's for sure. Okay. Now, be autonomous, be real, be original, be aboriginal. And this is by going with the flow. This is by realizing that you can trust everything around you. The funny thing is, guys, is a lot of people say you can't trust people who are untrustworthy. You can't trust them. You can trust that they'll be untrustworthy. You can still trust them. Okay? Like you can absolutely trust. You can trust a fool to be a fool. Okay? You can trust a wise man to be a wise man. You can trust you can really see it, guys. You guys get what I'm saying. Okay, next is hyper productive output. So this is also connected with the 9 rarities, the 9 rare traits of a high hyper productive entrepreneur, or to rarefy oneself, but ultimately hyper productive output. So if I continuously create videos every single day, but not only just create one video every day, but I create 5 videos every day, and it becomes a part of my subconscious programming, it's super easy for me to create videos. I don't necessarily have to. I might have like an overview, a script or whatever, certain words I want to hit onto, which is I've been starting to do that type of scripting, but I still go 99% off the dome. And the whole thing about this is that hyperproductive output puts you into that 21 days subconscious programming and reprogramming, to where you are starting to live in the proper discipleship, the proper consistency, the proper vibration, ultimately it's habitually constructed into, you stack those wins. It's habitually constructed into your DNA, into your actions, into everything that you do around you. And so it becomes just nonchalant. It becomes easy. It becomes flow. That's how you also initiate going with the flow, is you can change the flow. That's the thing about going with the flow. You can change the flow, but once you change the flow and you're like, I like this flow, go with the flow. Go with it. It's going to cause momentum in your life. It's going to cause fulfillment in your life, which means that you're filled full. And momentum means moment by moment, it's going to get quicker. It's going to exponentially grow moment by moment. That's what momentum is, right? Okay. So now hyperproductive output. If I keep doing videos that are in alignment, I can ultimately build a business like that, at least the business that I thrive in. I can also help onboard people. I can buy back my time. I could sell books. I can build businesses. I can do other things so say I have different repetitive tasks that I need to build for Akash X. There's multiple repetitive tasks to onboarding people. So during all those onboarding processes, I'll onboard with a multitude of people, and I'll send those, and I'll build a course. I'll have that course be free. I'll send those to every single person that onboards with me, and all that type of stuff. So now it's easier. I also can learn from those things, and I can make those systems better based on the OODA loop of the Navy SEALs. So ultimately, you can continuously get better. Next is you can also transform and evolve new content from old content. You can insert new inputs into the same database, but also have a better version of how to output it once it's in the database. And the database is right here. Now you can set up these databases on Notion. You could set up these databases manually on make.com and all these other different databases. You can, but you can also set it up right here. And the last thing is daily habitual construction stacking, daily habit stacking. So, one of my favorite things that I love talking about is do one more every day. Do one more habit stack every day. So what does that mean? That means that, so you just started going back to the gym and eating clean. So, and meal prepping. So that's how you do it. Okay. And you have like a different thing, and you're going to consistently go. So now that you're going back and consistently winning, then ultimately from that, you're going to keep evolving. But the thing is now it's getting easy for you to go to the gym and to eat clean and to do so and to build your training program and your training routines and all this type of stuff. And now you're like, all right, well, I want to start doing sauna. That's doing one more. Then, a couple days later, you're like, it's actually pretty easy for me to do sauna. I'm going to do an ice bath. And you just keep one-upping, and you start leveling up and start doing one-ups where you start to build yourself. And that is habit stacking, and that is do one more habit stacking. Maybe it's just reading an extra page. Maybe it's journaling just an extra half page. Maybe it's writing more affirmations. Maybe it's consolidating your time. Maybe it's building your calendar. Maybe it's adding black coffee to your thing, or taking carnitine, which are both fat burners. Okay, and those can be stacked. And so it's also learning how to habit stack, supplement stack, stack the way that you eat or the way that you don't eat, because everything that you do is also attached to everything that you don't do. Okay, it's also connected and attracted to the things that you don't do. So the things that you attract and that you're doing, and that you attract doing, and that the things that you're doing also attract things that you're doing. They're on the same vibrational frequency of wavelength. Also has a magnetism that repels. So an electromagnet ultimately has electric, so it attracts, but also repelling, so that will magnetize things out of their life. So you're an electromagnetic being, that's what your heart is an electromagnet. Okay, electric, and then down there is magnetic. That's why you need to, what are the three lower aspects? You need to feed yourself, which I'm not saying you actually need to feed yourself, but this is the society at large, is ultimately they would need to eat. And if they eat, that is saying that something outside of me, that I'm not whole, that I'm not a whole being. And so that's magnetizing. You have to bring something from the outside. Now, electric is embodying, it's enlightening, it's actually bringing it within yourself already and transforming or transmuting it, alchemizing it, soul ultimately. There are benefits to magnetizing. That was another way of magnetizing. It could also be choosing better food items. It could be choosing better food or fasting more, but it's realizing that the feminine aspect of these polarities is emotional, it's creative, it's water, it's magnetism, okay? The masculine aspect is logic, it's more scientific, it's more electrical, and these types of things too, and it's very logical. And so you can mold both of these types of aspects in your own life, because everybody has both. And it's just really starting to fundamentally be in the state that is preferred. And then you are using those vibrational frequencies, masculine or feminine polarities, to attract specific realities. And that comes from habit stacking, hyperproductive, being autonomous. You have to really embody your feminine or embody your masculine, or even like transmute it, transform it, change it up. Like make it work for you. And it's fine if they don't get you. It's okay if they don't get you. They're not meant to get you. The people who are meant to get you already get you, and they get you, and then they hear you, and those people are meant to be around you. The other people who are not meant to be around you are the people you are constantly repelling out of your life. Just do a 21-day process, and I can guarantee you they will be out of your life, or they will be at a minuscule level of your life. Are they diminished or anything? No, they're just not on the vibrational frequency to attract you into parallel reality ultimately. And if they are, then they will be in resonance to receive you. And that is the thing. And you'll be in resonance to receive them. Trust divine timing, trust more consistency, trust yourself, trust staying devoted, trust changing yourself for the better, trust selfless self-care, trust the fast, which fasting is no food, no water. Trust who you are. And these are the belief systems that helped me. These are the belief systems that helped me arise, that helped me be aware, that helped me be conscious, that helped me transform and realize that I'm not only going to just say affirmations, I'm going to do assumptive affirmations. I'm not only going to live just from my own egoic heart, but I'm going to live from his heart. I'm going to see what is the grand total thing? What does everybody need around me? And I'm going to live from that heart space rather than what my own ego wants. That's pretty much it, guys. These were the belief systems, and these are the things that helped me. Obviously, I constantly update and upgrade my belief systems to best serve the Most High God. Peace, much love, namaste. Talk to you guys soon.